I need to draft out a good opening speech because most of the time when I start my live stream, I don't even know what to say. I'm trying to say hi, everyone, good evening, when obviously there's nobody here. I want to sleep. At the same time, I don't want to sleep. Where is my class? Tete, knowledge, hi. Ah, we were just talking just now on IG, and now you are here. What's up? Good evening. How are you doing? No, I'm Sky. Hi. Oh my God, Sky is here. Sky, how are you? Good evening. Meanwhile, knowledge, how are you doing? I mean, I already know how you are doing actually. We were just talking a few minutes ago, now you're here. Wow. And it is hot over here. I mean, the temperature outside is hot. Sky, I am great. I've missed you. Been a really long time. How is school? How are you doing and how is school? Hi, Sonia, Nigeria. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the compliments and you are welcome to my live stream. Thank you. How are we all doing though? No, I don't do that. So sorry about that. What level are you in right now, Sky? What grade level are you in? Six. You're almost done then, right? You're almost done. Are you? Because over here, grade six is like the final class for either primary or secondary. That is what's happening now. What are we doing today? It's because it's just you. I actually have something in mind to ask, but because it's just you here. Ah, oh, Lola, hi. I mean, you didn't let me down. I mean, I understand. I am a very understanding person, so I understand that we can be busy even if we don't communicate sometimes, and that's very fine. Lola, still, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Thank you. 4 more years. Are you okay? Over here, we I don't know. Are you in secondary school or uni? I don't know what you guys call it over there. Sky, I'm talking to you. Dollar. Okay, okay. Problems, problems like what? Is it something that you can mention here, dollar? If you can't mention it here, that's fine. I can hit you up later. That's if you can talk about it or tell me about it. But anyways, are they being resolved? at the moment, or have you said to them already? I mean, right? I understand. Oh, I won't understand actually. That's why I just wish you well. If you still have 4 years to go, then it's not that long. It may look long, but it's actually not that long. Sky. So you'll be fine. You'll be done in no time. 4 years, and you are. So you're telling me that at age 18, it should be done. That's cool. That's cool. Oh, that's sad. But all will be well. Please pray that stuff like this needs to. It is usually advised that we back it up with prayer. You know. So because ekpere, how did they say it? Just shall be praying. Everything will be fine regardless. Everything will work out. Oh, really? Mm, okay. I guess that's why it's swift. Because if you have just 4 years remaining, like I said, you should be rounding up at age 17, 18. It's fast. That's actually very cool. Anyway, knowledge, are you here? I'm already used to calling your name all the time, knowledge. Knowledge, you need to stop doing this, so I'll stop calling you out every time. So, okay. What can I do this? Right? Because you didn't say anything, so ah I was concerned, and considering the fact that I'm thinking of asking a question, yeah, and it's just you and Dora that are here that are familiar with my pattern, so I don't know if I should drop my question. Okay. Who is this gang? Hmm. Sky, don't pay attention to that, okay? Don't pay attention to that. Ignore whatever he's saying. He'll be fine. Sky, don't worry about that. Don't pay attention to that. He'll be fine. I think he's just trying to read pity. You don't need to fall for that. Ignore him. Anyway, let me ask. Let me type this question. Um, it's just something very similar to what we talked about yesterday. Something of that sort. Let me drop it. Hmm, maybe like. Hmm, okay. No, Dola, I don't want you to see it that way. You actually never let me down. I can understand. I know we discussed about a lot of things that we're supposed to work on, but it's like I said, it's no pressure. It doesn't matter when you finish with them. I can still operate without them. You know that. So don't beat yourself too much, okay? I appreciate you regardless. For any time you are able to join, I appreciate you. Thank you, Dora. Lolly said absolutely not. Why do you say so? Why do you say so? Hey, knowledge, you know the patterns. If you are saying no, why no? I think I should use the book again. Don't trust the bag. I go and lost receipts now. I will not hear the last of it. Today was 20. So today is 20. Sky says, I am a nice person, but I do evil things too sometimes. So, in other words, Sky is saying that a good person can do evil and still be a good person. Okay? I want to understand because knowledge's answer was emphatic. So, I want to understand why he emphasized on that. Absolutely not. Why do you say so? Mhm. These people actually yeah, people can change. Okay, so as soon as one does bad, they are bad till they denounce their bad ways. That means you and Sky, you are basically saying the same thing because she says people can change, and you are saying that until they denounce their bad ways, that means it is the action following the evil that they do that matters. Wolves in sheep's clothing, pretenders. That means if you're saying wolves in sheep clothing, then you're saying that person is likely an evil person pretending to be a good person. Is that why I don't know if I understand you correctly, knowledge. Hmm. Okay. 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 So what if that person commits an evil act because they had no other choice but to? I might be a good person here, but circumstances would force me to do some things that are against my morals. Would you still call such a person an evil person? For example, we all know that killing is evil, is considered bad. To take a life is considered bad. And then a soldier that is forced to kill, would you consider that soldier a bad person for killing an enemy, even if he has good morals and has lived a good life? Sky, I get your answer clearly. Um, Knowledge says one can sacrifice themselves instead. I asked the question now. In the case of a soldier fighting in a war, and he is expected to kill an enemy, would you consider that soldier an evil person, even if he has lived a good life and is still living a good life and also has good morals, but he's forced to kill because of the nature of his job? Would you consider him an evil person? I don't know knowledge is an upright person, so this one he may never agree. Eh. Anyway, then to you, Sky, what if the person never changes? Because you know that, Sky, I'm asking you a question. You know, good or bad is like a habit. Good morals is a habit. You might be a good person, but when you consistently do something bad or evil, it becomes a habit. And when you do it more than once or twice or multiple times, and it becomes a habit, would you now say that that good person that has consistently done evil is still a good person? Sky, this question is for you. Okay, now let's say soldiers have to follow others, but they still have a choice. Those choices come with consequences. Soldiers know what they sign up for. Uh, Dollar, that's fine. That's fine. No pressure. I said appreciate you. Whenever you can join, you are always welcome. Don't pressure yourself, Dollar, it's fine. Back to your knowledge. So you're saying that soldiers have I'm coming to this guy. Soldiers have consequences. Yeah. That means you are saying if you are saying that they have consequences, they follow orders, that means it is like a duty that they have to carry out. And that duty is killing. Killing which is considered evil. Are you now saying that one can be good and still do evil? Is that what you are saying? Knowledge. Because if you are trying to justify a soldier killing somebody, killing which is considered evil, that means you are saying that because it is a duty being carried out, yes, they can still be good and you know carry out their duty, which entails killing someone. I want to understand your stand on this knowledge. Meanwhile, Sky says, yes, I have a thing I see every day actually. Mm. Before I come to knowledge. Sky, what is that thing you say every day that is considered evil? Ah, killing in defense is not evil. Mm, 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 mm. My brain. Killing to take from others is okay. So killing in defense would be considered as evil through uh, probably because you have no choice but to. Dollar, it's been going well. I don't really, I don't, to be honest, Dollar, I don't actually, track how well it's been doing. I just come on live and then go off and then do whatever I have to do. But I believe it's been going well. What are you doing at Abuja? It's a bad word. That's why I don't want to say it. So you know that is a bad word and you constantly use that word. That means you are constantly doing evil, right? dollar. That's number is low for me, but that's fine. Uh, Another says to maintain peace, one must fight wars. Okay, okay, okay. But knowledge, like I mentioned earlier, here, I said doing something becomes a habit, and now a soldier being used to killing people at the war front becomes a habit for that soldier. Do you think, or do you not think that at some point, because it is already a habit to, kill people, he may actually kill somebody, even though it is not in self defense? He may actually be tempted to do that at some point in his life. Okay, hold on. You're going to Abuja and you're boarding your flight in Lagos. Hmm? Okay, you're in Abuja right now, and okay. Now I understand. All right, that's cool. That's cool. Like I can't believe you're actually leaving, and you've still not revealed yourself to me, Dora. Is that fair? Is that fair? After everything we've been through together, you still don't want to reveal yourself to me. Maybe that time. That's fine. Nobody says that happens a lot. PTSD. Mm, that means that act alone is. It doesn't matter if. Ah, how do I put it? That means that a soldier that kills for self defense is likely to kill for self pleasure, if I can put it that way. Okay. But you know that there are still military personnel here that are supposed to protect or save lives. They are the ones killing people. Like where I'm from, there is a particular, I'm not going to mention this body of um, um, personnel, so they don't come for me. But it is particular body that is being put in place to protect and save. Right? They will even tell you that these people are your friends, but they are mostly the ones causing harm to the citizens. So what I'm trying to say is that it's not always the case with these personnel. Some of them abuse the power that they have. Oh, Akone, Akone, how long? Hell, it's been months. It's been months. Chike. Anyway, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. Before I read it on, so now that I was saying that there are still personnel, it's not, there are still personnel that are being put in place to protect lives that are the ones actually killing people. So it happens. But then I ask again, okay, Reed is here, Akune is here. So Alex, I was here yesterday. Oh. A good person isn't someone who never does harm, it's someone who values intentions and overall behavior is towards good people. Humans don't operate including back and white categories, context matters. Read your English in plenty. Do you mind explaining? Do you mind breaking it down? Your English is plenty for me right now. Like the state can't even come on my glasses. And we can drop this book. I didn't do any work for now. Please break your English. Meanwhile, Dollar, trust me, Reed does not even. I don't think Reed knows anything about being a moderator. I don't know. I just made him a moderator because I felt like, but I don't think he knows anything about being a moderator. Akune, I waited. I was on live yesterday. This guy came on live by past 12. Yes, so Akune has not been on here for a while. But the rest has been joining. Knowledge has been active. Read has been active. Alex, the question is up now. Can't you say it? Can a good person do evil and still be a good person? That's the question. What was I asking? Knowledge. My brain don't scatter. Oh, I think I was talking about my reality over here. Um, anyways, I agree with the fact that they're only actually killing self-defense. So it does not necessarily mean that they are not still good people because they kill to save lives, like you said. So if I understand knowledge and also Sky, because Sky is here, I don't know if she's still here. The both of you are saying that a good person can do evil and still be a good person, especially if after committing such evil they show sign of remorse or um, changed behavior. They feel guilt and then work towards repentance. Right? Knowledge. Am I correct? Akone says a good person cannot do evil and still be a good person unless he's doing it for a greater good. Mm. Since there is unless, that means a good person can do evil now and still be good. Since there is except there, that exception already singles out the fact that you can be good and still do evil. And evil there, with all that we've been saying, what I understand from what you guys have been saying, I think evil there is not about the person, it is the act itself. So you can actually be a good person and then commit an act of evil. That's if I understand correctly what Alex also just said. And knowledge, I don't know if knowledge is still here. But let me read the answers. Dollar saying behead emoji. Okay. Reed says if someone harms others out of cruelty or selfish gain, that leans towards evil, of course. Dollar, can you still see the question? Can you guys see the question there? The question is up there. Can you guys see the question tag there? If you act under pressure, fear, or to protect someone, it's more morally complicated. Read. More morally complicated doesn't mean that it is not evil. You can't see the question. Wait, oh. Okay. You're using your laptop. Okay, well, let me read out. The question says, can a good person do evil and still be a good person? That's the question. Okay, now it says they would have to stay the course. No backsliding. Intentional evil is evil. There is no good intent with it. Okay. Intentional evil. First of all, let me ask. Knowledge, I'm also asking you, I really want to understand your stand, knowledge. although I understand, but I want you to explain to me very well so I would get you completely. But before I ask, let me ask you this question, knowledge. Is killing someone considered evil? Taking a life, is it considered evil? Um, and I said, no, they cannot. Once they have committed that sin, their soul is tainted and they only remain untainted if they did not do it out of spite or anything bad, but did it unknowingly or in self defense. But in this case, you said they did it instead of being clearly right or clearly wrong, it sits in the gray area. Okay. With what Dollar said, that means Dollar is saying that yes, a good person can do evil and still be a good person. It just depends on the intention. Alright, I understand. Read is saying instead of being clearly right or clearly wrong, it's sitting in the gray area. Hmm. 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 So killing in self defense now you're saying it sits in the gray area. If they speak English for me. You killed in self defense, but you did it knowingly. You killed knowingly, whether it was in self defense or not. There was something knowledge said earlier. He said something that like you should rather look for a way to avoid it or something like that. I can't really remember how he used the words. So instead of killing in self defense, you can actually look for a way to avoid killing that person, subduing that person without killing the person. Don't you think? I mean, there's a way you can actually do that. But instead, your action led to their death, which is evil. So, does it still make you a good person? There's something I'm okay. Well, you guys have already said it, but I feel like I want you guys to emphasize on it so I would understand. It's hard to think about it. That means they already crossed to the other side. Dollar says if it's self defense, of course you did it knowingly because in that single moment your mind goes blank and the human survivor instinct kicks in. We say to subdue, my dear, my dear, oh no, don't mind me. Hey, Jim. Okay, Sky said, my Sky. I'm not going to read this out, but I'm just going to read it in my mind. That's Sky's message. Very proud voice in the past and the things from now their lives will become changed to good, evil or evil to good. So yes, still can be a good person. Uh-huh. I think it's only Sky that is giving me relatable explanations. And I can understand that because she has experienced evil people turning into good people. So, okay, Sky, that's cool. I absolutely understand you. Mm. Let me see. Donna, why did you retract that? Eh, okay, okay. I understand, Donna. Okay, okay. Thank you, Donna. You know, I don't know the rules. You know, that's why you're my MOD. Wait, what do you mean? If you subdue bandits, na today. I understand very well. Those ones, they are evil through intentionality. Those bandits' own issue, yeah. That one, they are, I don't think it's something that we can even mention when talking about evil and still being a good person, because they don't even want to be good to themselves. Talk more of anybody. What is why is weed? Why is dollar saying they never break weed yet? I don't think weed will understand this your message politely, or make cannot talk. We want to understand each other. Anyway, I think what we are all seeing here is that a good person can do evil, and please, you guys, correct me if I'm wrong, and if you still think otherwise, also let me know. But I think from everything I've read through, I think we are all saying that a good person can do evil and still be a good person. Only if that evil is firstly being done, um, if it's self defense, through service like what knowledge mentioned, the examples he gave with soldiers carrying out their duty, which is to kill their opponents by keeping the peace. And also, like Sky said, doing evil and then changing. And I think Reed also mentioned probably after committing such evil, you feel a sense of guilt, remorse. Or let's say, for example, a good person stealing is also considered evil, that steals to feed um, the poor, or probably his or herself. So that could also be ruled out. I don't know if I understand you guys correctly, but I think that it is what you guys are saying. I don't think Reed said that he can fight bandits. Reed was only laughing at what I said, because I said, why don't you rather in self defense, try to overpower them, like subdue them without doing anything, without killing them? And he was like, subdue bandits. So I don't think Reed is saying that you can overpower bandits, okay? But there are people that were lucky enough to do that. Um, the one is asking if stealing pencil from your classmate really doing life changing exam and making them feel evil. Stealing pencil. No, of course. Of course it's evil. Of course it's evil. How you go steal your classmate pencil, knowing fully well that it is important to them, without that pencil, they are going to fail that exam. Because this stage, I'm gonna ask a question, because I'm gonna tell a story that made me ask this question. There were two things that made me ask this question. Read question yesterday, and also um, the story that I read on the internet. Dola, you're not a good person. No, no. The sky is big enough for everyone. Whether or not that person had passed that exam, it wouldn't have stopped you from also passing that exam as well. So I feel like did they drag first class or second class? Okay, it's a pencil. You're probably dragging first position or second position. And second position is not even bad. So if you had even come second, it's still not a bad thing. So that was wrong for him. Still my eraser last section. So you reversed. Still evil. You're an evil person. Alex, why do you say so? Why do you say so, Alex? Anyway, I was gonna narrate a story and then ask you guys what you guys think. So I saw something on the internet here. The lady said that her marriage is at the verge of breaking up. And that is because there's this lady in her compound that lost her husband. And now, since she lost her husband, all the tenants were now being nice to her, especially the male tenants. Be the married men and unmarried men, they're not being nice to her because she was now left with her kids and also a little child that she was still breastfeeding. Wait, was it still breastfeeding? No, she was not breastfeeding the child, but the child was just little. So now they were all being nice to her, giving her stuff, supporting her in the little way that they could. So this particular lady, she was not okay with the fact that her husband was always making himself available to help her every time she asked for help. So one night, she was in the house, inside her house with her husband, and then this lady came knocking. She was knocking on the door and was calling her husband's name. The woman was at the parlor. She heard the lady knocking, but her husband did not hear. She refused to answer. Her husband asked her if someone was knocking at the door, and she said no. So nobody answered the lady. And then the following morning, they woke up and they found out that the lady's child, that means the widow's child, her child was suffering from convulsion. That was why she came out that night and was knocking, seeking for help, but nobody answered her. So because nobody answered her, that child died. So when everybody found out and her husband heard what happened, he was now continuously constantly asking his wife, "Did you hear her knocking?" The lady kept on denying it and she didn't hear. At first, she didn't know actually. She didn't know that the lady's child was suffering from convulsion. If she had known, she would have opened, but she didn't know. So because of the pressure from her husband, she finally opened up that, okay, oh, see, oh, I heard, oh, but it's just my insecurity that kicked in. I didn't know that her child was actually suffering at that point. I just didn't like that she was always disturbing and you were always available to help her. So that caused something in her marriage. Her husband had calling her evil, wicked, and all sort of things. And since then, things have not been easy. She's even scared that her husband is likely going to leave her. So I'm asking you guys now, what you guys think? What would you say about that woman? Okay, Tola says that selfishness, she deserves it. They should leave her. Remember, she did not know that the woman's child was sick at that time. She didn't know. She thought the woman would beg for something as usual. She just didn't know. So, putting into consideration that she was ignorant of that fact, would you still say that she deserves it? Okay, okay. It must not always be a condition um, for kindness to be shown. Okay, okay. But what if in situations whereby this particular person constantly comes to ask for help and it's because I feel like that was the case with that woman. There's a way somebody will beg and beg you for something, you even get tired. So I think she was tired. I mean, from her explanation, she was tired. So she thought that was the same case. That she was just coming to probably beg for Maggie or salt or this or that. So probably she didn't know. She didn't know. If she had known, she would have answered and offered help, but she didn't. Still considering this, is okay. I feel like knowledge is still here because he said it before. If he's gonna leave, let me know. So knowledge, if you are still here, what do you think? Read. If you are still here, what do you think? Also, Alex, if you are still here, what do you think? Okay, Dada says I would at least check for what she needs, even though I am annoyed. As long as you know she has a child, you should at least provide help. Okay, Dada, I understand you, but I think you don't. I don't think you understand the story I'm narrating. She didn't know that that particular child was sick. She didn't even know that the lady was with her child. Did she? I think she later confessed to her husband that she heard the child crying. Yes. Yeah, I think there was a part I read where she confessed to her husband that she heard the child crying, but she didn't know that it was that serious. So yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I'm wondering why they're silent. Hmm. So it says Sky, Sky says I understand nothing. Okay, that's fine. And come off as selfish as jealous. Um, Mule says be kind. We should communicate how we feel instead of pretending that we care when we really don't. Yeah, it's true. True. I think I just think I feel like she was insecure. I think insecurity also causes that negligence. But I also think that she was wrong. Yeah. But she did that because she was insecure. Probably she didn't like the fact that her husband was. She was just insecure. That's just what I think, and it is mm, still evil considering the fact that even if you didn't know the reason why she was there, the the fact that you heard a child crying, that alone should have made you at least inquire why or what was happening at that time. If even if you don't want your husband to go, you don't want your husband to be the one to come out and offer the help. You yourself, you're a woman and she's a woman. So you can at least talk to her. Or even if you don't even feel okay with whatever, you can tell her, okay, madam, I really don't like the way you're always coming to my for help. Why don't you rather come to me? Anytime you need something, come to me and ask me. I don't go to my husband. So like Knowledge says, it just takes communication and understanding and everything works out. But it is what it is. Humans and mistakes. Hmm. True. Some of us now they bash the woman. Well, actually, the woman came out to tell the story herself, and then I read it on one blog. I don't know. Anyway, that is my question for today. Does anyone have a question? If anyone has a question, you can drop. Let us deliberate on it. But for today, I am out of questions. And but I still have little battery that can carry. So I mean they heard the knock. Huh? Yes, they did hear the knock. They did hear the knock. Let's make my mic here. So Alex left me. I don't know. I don't know why Alex reacted that way. That's sad. Considering the fact that I cannot be hi tropical man, tropical Ricky. Hi, good morning. Considering the fact that it's likely impossible for me to respond to every message. At least I try. I try to do that. But it's impossible for me to respond to every message. You know, messages are just coming in. I'm trying to read through and answer everybody. So I Don't worry. I'll talk to him privately. Talk to him privately. And my guy, Rich become an I. You are joining at a time where no, don't worry. Don't worry, leave Tropical Man. I'm actually cool with that. He is my G. Leave him. Yeah. Eh, 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 eh. And when you do Sky, just kindly let me know. You can okay. If you still want to continue using someday maybe. Why? Why not start today? Why not start today? Can start now. But anytime you are ready, just let me know. You can text me on IG, whatever you're doing on your channel, and you want me to participate. Feel free to always let me know, Sky, and I'll be there for you. I'm really glad that you have this thought in mind. It's not the end, though. It's just that I've run out of topic. Let me remove my topic first. But real topical man, Eldad, you guys, thank you so much. Dollar, no, please don't come at him like that. Please, I beg you. Please, I beg you. Eldad, what's up? How are you doing? Oh my god. Exactly. You all, um, Dollar, Tropical, everyone, you all here. In short, you all commenting here are all my family from day one, and I really appreciate that. So please, we don't need to argue over anything at all. If there's something I don't like, Dollar, if there's something that I don't like, or anybody speak to me in a way that I don't like, trust me, I'll definitely say it. I'll definitely mention it here. Even if I don't, I'll just mention it. So Tropical did not say anything wrong. Just please be cool with him. Okay. And also, Tropical Man, I understand that Dora misunderstood the whole thing, but it's just because most times people come to my channel and try to sexualize me, and so Dollar is particular about stuff like that because this particular person is um my moderator. So that's basically what he or she does. Is He means nothing. He means nothing. Dollar does not want to reveal his or her identity to me, so I don't know. But that's fine. Okay. Anyway, so no, Dollar. I understand, Eldad. Okay. That being said, Dollar is not. That's fine. No pressure when you're ready. But that being said, Dollar is not going to remove anybody. He or she is just saying it out of concern. But that's fine. Anyway, yeah, I did. There are actually several reasons why Dollar is my emoji. It's not just about um, chat control. There are other things that Dollar is helping me achieve in my channel, especially my live stream, and also when I get to a certain um, level of subscribers. So it's not just basic. It's not just about removing people. But when, like I said, I don't know if you guys have been on my live stream. People come on here to try to sexualize me or insult me or try to just say random stuff that would cause um uproars here. So dollar on cases like that helped me control the live stream. So it's just because she did or he or she did not understand where Tropical Man was driving at. That's why it's nothing serious or personal. Kindly. That's why. Eldad, we had a topic that I just removed just now. We just finished talking about something that we just removed. And I asked them if they have any other thing they'd like us to talk about. Because this live stream is we are actually close to an hour into this live stream. This is 56 minutes already. So we've been talking about something for the past 40 something minutes. So I don't know if you guys have topics or questions that you'd like us to deliberate on, because today I am out of questions or topic. Okay. Okay. Alright, that's fine. Dollar. Okay, you know what? Let me put the okay, dollar, that's fine. Let me put the question back up. Because I know Typical Man and Eldad, they are also critical thinkers. I mean, everybody I have here are deep thinkers, so let me put it back up so they can also engage. Let me put percent. Hmm. 8 minutes, please. I'm typing it. Okay, good person to give and also percent. All right, so this is the topic we were deliberating on. Mm, do I do quick nights too? You mean quiz nights? I've not hosted another quiz night since the last time, since the first time actually. I've not hosted another quiz night. Maybe we'll talk about that, Dora. Talk about that privately. So just um think about something. Yes, you guys gotta shake hands. Gotta shake hands. Thank you, knowledge, for helping me keep the peace. You guys, knowledge is like my it's just that knowledge is a meal, but knowledge is like my soul. When it comes to our science, our astrology science, knowledge is my soul sister. So we are opposite and alike at the same time. So yeah, there is no coming back on certain evils. Hmm. Can you give instances? Tropical man, can you give instances? Sky. Sky said, okay, well, Sky already gave her answer. I think it was a story that Sky did understand. Typical man, can you give instances? Child PDF. Okay, I understand. I also do not want to say the word out. Hmm. No, now, dollar, don't. But I want to understand. Dollar, If such words, sorry, let me ask a question because there's a reason why. Because real typical man, I can see the question you, I can see what you typed, and but it's being hidden. But then let me ask a question: if such words are being typed out, like what typical man just said, will YouTube ban the life? I want to understand because the last time we're talking about something, and there were a lot of words being used that they were being hidden. I had to allow some of it can be reported. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Tropical man, I think I understand why Dollar retracted or deleted your comments. Please don't take it the wrong way. I think it is the word. So can we just please try to I don't even know. Just look for a way to describe such situations without using the words so that the live stream does not get reported or banned or my features being removed. I beg. Okay. 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 To be honest, I don't know anything about all this. I actually do not. But in order to be careful, of which you can never be too careful, let us just try to use other words to describe it. That being said, I understand Tropical Man's point. But real Tropical Man, before you joined, some people said that one can commit evil and then change along the line, like Sky said. So yeah. So in if in cases where one was once a PDF and then changes in the future, would you now consider that person a good person? Tropical Man, I'm asking you. I beg you, leave them. They are not wicked and Yerima. I understand the both of them. Hi, Papita. You're welcome to my live stream. Thank you so much for being here. Um, you say it depends on the situation. Okay, so in what situation can such person still be considered a good person? And also in what situation can such action not be overturned? Papita, I ask you. And also, Tropical Man, I also ask you, what if the person changes in the future? Hmm, there's some evil one can't just come back from. Okay, I know I also mentioned here that these things are habits. Doing it once, you can come back from it. It is when you do it consistently and it becomes a habit that it is now considered an evil act, and then you're now considered an evil person because it has become a deliberate thing that has been committed more than once. So now, what if in that case, this person has deliberately on several occasions resist committing such acts? Because for me, I feel like these things all depends on um, the mind control, and personal decision. What if this person makes that personal decision to not commit such acts? Would you still say that that person is um, not a good person? Hmm. They might claim to have changed, or it's just a claim such person should never be allowed back into the society or community. Hmm. So, are you just saying it subjectively to this person, that's whoever commits such acts, or you are saying in general an evil person or one that commits evil can never change? Is that what you are trying to say? Tropical man, see, Sky is looking at you. Meanwhile, is Eldad still here? Eldad, hi, if you're still here. Alex, that's specific evil knowledge. So you're also saying that such person cannot change. Ghost stones. Firstly, ghost stones. Hi. Um. Secondly, I can't remember Rabisa saying that she does not support English channel, but I don't know where you got your info from, but that's wrong because she is one of my biggest supporters here. So knowledge says cannot change or absolutely cannot and will not change. But we cannot be very sure, can we? We cannot be very sure. Anything can happen. If I mean anything can happen, to be honest. There are serial killers. Is that word allowed? Hey, Chineke. There are people that have committed greater atrocities and at some point repented and became, for example, Saul in the Bible, he was a persecutor. He was a persecutor, but then he repented and became a good person. So, can we now say that such person that commits such acts, like the acts Tropical Man mentioned, cannot still change if saved by Christ? Before Tropical Man says I'm going towards religious conversation, no, I'm not. I'm just saying, I mean, there are records of people that has committed greater sins and along the line, they repented of their sins and never went back to those sins. So, why do we think that whoever ghost does, I'm not interested in knowing that on my channel. But anyway, thank you for being here. That's justification. I don't understand. Sorry, knowledge. I don't understand this particular one you just said. Can you explain, please? Be what? Peter Man has not answered. Okay. Okay. Hmm. make una see. I don't. What is happening today? Uh, um, uh, I'm even confused as to what is happening on this. Are we arguing today? Please, you guys should help me. Are we arguing here today? I beg go. You, I mean, this is just an example, or this is just one of the reasons why a moderator is needed. Because I don't see these ghost stones. I just want to stress my life. I'm tired. Anyway, knowledge is just because they are quoting the word doesn't make them holy. Okay. Typical man says, what is repentance? Saying you won't do it again. I don't believe in repentance. I believe in consequences for every condemnable action. Typical man, what if after undergoing such consequences, you faced your consequences and such person repent and never go back to that action? Would you now say that that they're now good people? Would you say that? Because like somebody mentioned here, you can be a good person when you repent, you feel guilty, remorseful, and you never go back to such um you never commit such act again. So what if such person changes after repentance and um facing their sins or consequences? Would you now say, or would you still call them an evil person, or now say they're now good people? Meanwhile, knowledge said committing evil, then going to confession doesn't allow one to continue evil. No, no, knowledge. Knowledge, you said, I want to understand what you said here. You said committing evil, then going to confession doesn't allow one to continue evil. It doesn't allow, but that's not always the case. But to understand you clearly, for example, like Catholics, they commit sin and then they go to confession, confess their sins, and say their penance. Are you saying now because they've confessed their sin, they don't go back to commit that same sin? Knowledge. That is what I'm trying to understand from what you said. Sugarman says confession and repentance is religious stuff, and such should not up in the law of the land. By law of the land, I believe you mean reality, right? Am I right, Sugarman? Knowledge saying agreed. Are you agreeing to what I said about repenting and not going back to such act that probably now makes you a good person? Is that what you're agreeing to, knowledge? Shikama says, well, if after suffering the consequences for their evil according to the law, then I can say they've paid the price for their evil. I think in the eyes of the law, they are now good citizens. In the eyes of the law, they are now good citizens. Okay? What about in your eyes? In your eyes, typical man, do you think they are capable of change? Do you think they are now good people? Knowledge says yes, especially when they know what they are doing is wrong. Okay? When they know what they are doing is wrong. So I'm guessing you're saying that after confession, they don't go back to their okay. I think I understand you now, knowledge. Okay, that's fine. I think we're still pretty much saying the same thing, but just in different ways. We're still saying the same thing others have been saying, but just in different ways. All right, I understand. And I don't think I would have said anything different because I still think that good people can commit evil, not out of their own um, free will. Circumstances can make them do evil, but then it is committing such act is not where it ends. It is what happens afterwards that determines if you are still a good person or an evil person. But that's fine. Speaker man say my eyes doesn't matter. The law has already passed the judgment for the evil. I will survive, guys. I have to go and sleep. Okay, Sky, thank you so much. Sky, I hope whatever happened, whatever such person said did not get to you. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. And also remember to let me know on Instagram or any place, preferably, when you finally open your channel. Okay? Thank you. Uh, no, no, that's fine. That's fine. Redundant says, in my eyes, I would say they are good now. Okay. Pretty much, they're like talking about the same thing. I was talking about the same thing. And it's just the same thing we've all been saying, but uh, real typical man is just giving his own input of which I understand. Okay, that being said and understood, again, I am out of questions or topics, rather. I am out of questions and topics. I don't know. Knowledge, drop a question for us. Drop a question for us. Knowledge. Why is it so? Why impossible? Hell, Jesus. Okay, Dola, that's fine. That's fine. Knowledge, why impossible? Talk to me. Anyway, anyone can drop a question or a topic. This necessarily needs to be knowledge, but I just like pulling his legs. Hi, Dola. Rich people saying religious point of view, an evil like PDF can be forgiven. Yep, of course. I mean, in religious point of view, anything can be forgiven. Mm. Read, so you see there. Anyway, read, drop your question. Okay, Dollar, permission to, you can, you're permitted to. You to become an, like I said, I agree with you. Anything can be. No, Dollar, please don't remove it. Next time, please. I feel like he abbreviated it. He abbreviated it. It's not supposed to cause an issue. I don't think he's supposed to. So just leave him. I understand. He didn't add any other thing that will make people think, unless you've been in this conversation or you want to deliberately report. I don't know. Meanwhile, real tropical man, yes, I acknowledge such forgiveness because the religion that I believe in acknowledges it. It acknowledges forgiveness of any sort, and I do not have the power to forgive sins. In religious context, only Jesus has. So if he can forgive that, Why can't I acknowledge it? I'm not perfect. And to be honest, I don't think any sin is great. I don't think sin has grade. Like one sin is greater than the other. I don't subscribe to that, regardless of whatever sin we commit. So I still feel that I am myself, I am a sinner. So if my sins can be forgiven, why can't theirs? Even Jesus Christ said, "You that is without sin, be the first to cast the stone." So unless I believe beyond reasonable doubt that I am faultless, then I can stand and say, I'm not, I will judge you. Even me judging you is already me committing a sin. So, yes, I would acknowledge such forgiveness. Meanwhile, we asked a question. If winning requires you to change who you are or hurt others along the way, is it still a real win? Nope. For me, it is not a real win. Let's take for example, although they did not read. Okay, I think CAF later said that. I think CAF later said that um, Senegal should return the cup to Morocco. But let's take this past AFCON match as an example. I don't know if you guys watched the match, the whole tournament, because I did. We saw what happened. Some of the things that happened that didn't really sit well with the audience, and then Senegal almost left the pitch, but at the end they continued the match and they won. Let's say, for example, Morocco had won that match with everything that happened. They did some things that we felt were not right, and they won. Would you still call them the real winners of that match? Read. This question is I'm asking this question just to try to answer yours. I don't know if you first thing, Reed, did you even watch the AFCON finals? Or did anyone here watch the AFCON finals? Okay. Reed, you watched the AFCON finals. So you guys understand what I'm talking about. If Morocco had won that match, regardless of everything they did, would you have still considered it a real winning? It's a question now. I'm just trying to make you understand because you asked me a question here. So I'm trying to use real life situation to explain your question to you. If you have to hurt somebody to gain victory, it is not. I don't consider that a win. I'm short. I would not consider it a disgrace. I would consider it a disgrace. But that's by the way. I believe I gave my own answer on that. But I don't know if others have other things to say, contributions, and they can say something. Okay. Tropical Man says reality is not written in stones. Those who have the power can bend reality to satisfy their own interests. Just as CAF still wanted, or I don't even know if they did. I think Senegal refused to give them the cup, but they still declared Morocco winners of the AFCON and demanded that Senegal give them back the cup. I don't know if that happened, but yes, they have the power, so they did that to satisfy their interests. So I totally and completely agree with you, with man. Reid says if Morocco won the AFCON, then they are the champions. We know that they are the champions. But you said real win. Winning the tournament, and being a real winner, that is winners that are acknowledged and accepted by the people. I feel like they are completely different things. I don't know if I don't. That's just what I feel. I feel like they're completely different things. So if you're talking about a real win, people that actually played well and deserved the real. When you talk about real win, I feel like it's talking about deserved winners. I wouldn't consider them the real winners because they do not actually deserve that. So yeah, I think it's just the same thing I just spoke about. He said a win gotten through the seats is not a real win, but in reality, people with power can make it real. Ah, ah, I hate to agree. Welcome back, Dollar. Wait, see, I think sometimes to win you have to break some rules and bend a few strings. So you are saying that to win sometimes you have to be unfair. Wait, is that what you are saying? Breaking some rules is just basically you saying playing unfairly. Is that what you are saying, my dear brother? Hmm, okay, okay. Dollar says to win you have to play fairly. Hmm. So which one we go take now? Which says you have to break some rules and bend a few strings. And the other says you have to play fairly. But we're talking about real win here. Real win. Real win without deceit. So if you want to be seen as a real winner, read. Would you break some rules? Oh, bless me. Would you break any rule at all? Of course. Life is unfair. Tropical man, no. So because life is unfair, everything we we are required or expected to do to win in life should not be fair. Read. Are you talking about winning or real? Because your first question says real win. Real win. So you're talking about winning, I can understand. In order to win, you are it's not like you are expected or allowed. Sometimes people go beyond or they break rules to get what they want, which is normal. This is the reality of life. But if you're talking about real genuine victory, then you shouldn't be talking about breaking rules and playing unfairly shouldn't be on the same line with real genuine winning. That is just what I feel. Okay. Knowledge says cheaters never win. They are depriving themselves of the skill and know-how. I think in natural sense, what knowledge is saying is that you may actually win the game in the sight of everybody, but in reality, you did not win because you did not gain practical knowledge of how to win that particular thing fairly. Is that what you are saying? Knowledge. It says I'm ready to break rules. Of course, I know you are ready to break. Sure, I told you that you are a determined person. Did I don't tell you? I've said it here in my life before. I've said it to you. So I'm not surprised. So you believe it is a real win, hurting to some extent. Hmm. Okay. Although I do not subscribe to your thoughts, but I still understand your stand. Like, I understand where you are coming from, and that is fine. By you, nor me. Anyway, oh, I don't know. Where is real Jupiter man? You guys, my eyes are closed. I don't know. Why I don't know if it's my battery. Yes, now it's fine by you guys, not me, oh, because I still stand by my take that achieving real victory in a game or anything you are doing in life, you have to be fair. You have to play fairly in order to be acknowledged as the real champions. Because I still use the AFCON as an example. Even if CAF still say that Morocco should be given the cup, the whole continent still acknowledge Senegal. They still see Senegal as the real winners of AFCON because they played fairly. Even in the midst of being cheated, they knew they were being cheated. They still gave their all and still won that match. So they are still being seen as the real winners of AFCON. And even if in the process they had lost that match, they would have still be acknowledged as the real winners of AFCON because they gave us what we actually wanted, not that. Um, Reed says, um, I believe nothing on earth is set up for us to win unless we break out of the system and create our own path. A lot of time we hurt people in the process. Does it make it right? Does it make it right? We know that some things, some actions are inevitable, but does it make it right? Read. I have good morals. I don't know. I don't know. How do you play fair when your opponent are breaking the rules? Play fair just like how the Senegalese played fair at the last AFCON finals. The odds were against them. Firstly, from the audience, down to the ref, down to the CAF officials, everybody were against them. But they played fair and they won. So I do not believe that a all win, like a win is a win. No. You may have won the game, but did you capture the heart of the people? Let me tell you something. We're talking about football. Do you know? Okay, let's say let us use reality shows as examples. For example, I don't know if Real Tropical Man is a Nigerian. Knowledge is not a Nigerian, but there's a reality show in Nigeria here called The Big Brother. The Big Brother shows. Now, people they don't want me say battery low. Now, people go into that show, some win, some come out first runner up, second runner, third, like you guys understand. But do you know that in most cases, in that reality show, Big Brother, the winners do not always do well. It is either the first runner up or the second runner up that comes out and even become a more recognized influencer than the winner of that show. So it is not always a win is not always a win. You may have won the show, but did you capture the heart of people? Did you impress people? The final AFCON, Morocco, they didn't capture the heart of anybody. So even if they had won that match, people would have still stood with the Senegalese players. So in reality, it's not even about coming up to win. Did you show that you were capable? It's just like, for example, you cheated, your way from first year to final year and you graduated with first class. Then I studied hard and graduated with, let's say, if a 4.4 CGPA, which is 2.1. You are seen as a first class graduate or best thing. But when we go out there into the labor market, who do you think is going to win? Because you that did not study hard to get that first class position, you will not be able to sell yourself properly. So it does not, winning doesn't need validation. If you say so, me, I'm just saying my own. I'm just saying what I think. Oh, but if you say so, it doesn't need validation. But the person that won during Bisola's set, Bisola is doing way better than that person. Winning doesn't need validation, right? The person that won during, who won during Nengi's set, is it not Lekon? Don't get it twisted. This Lekon, these winners, they are doing well. Oh. But they are the following winners. They are being recognized than the actual winners. Look at All Stars, for example. Ilibaye won. But Messi that won before is even still recognized. But I don't know. I just feel like even if it does not need validation and stuff like that, it's winning through genuine ways are still, I feel like it is still what carries you in the process. What makes you, what sustains you, what gives you credibility. It's not only about the title, it is the credibility that comes with it that matters for me. Meanwhile, let me see. 21 bends zero. Dollar says I prefer basketball. Winnie doesn't. Actually, it is true. Football is a poor example for a fair game. There's nothing fair in life. Everyone plays life with an edge or advantage. Okay? Don't watch baby. Right, yeah. Media recognition. Me, I don't really know much about that, but I just gave an example with the last match channel. Not like I just used this as an example, and I also used the Big Brother reality show as an example. But anyways, that is fine. Since your real win or you guys real win involves cheating and playing unfairly, that's fine. I mean, like they say, the end justify the means. So at the end of the day, whoever carries the cup or whoever benefits from it is the actual winner, right? Is that not what we are all saying? Is that not what you guys are saying? No, my own stand is different, but I think you guys are saying your own take is at the end of the day, whoever wins, whoever actually takes the victory badge is who is considered the winner. Okay, that's fine. I lose on this one. It is three. What about knowledge? Knowledge. Do you also side with them? Let me be sure that I'm not alone. Let me know if it's three against one or four against one. Hmm. Okay. Tropical Man says credibility is just human validation. You always desire to be accepted and validated. Human desire is not always fair. Knowledge said competition aside, stepping on someone to get ahead is not a win. Bringing them with you or showing them how is a win. I guess I'm not alone. So it is three against two. I and knowledge, we share the same value. Thank you, knowledge, for that. Thank you. But I'll still repeat this to real tropical man, dollar and wheat, because I think they are all agreeing on the same thing. Like I said, it justify the means, and I also used the reality show as an example. You may be the winner. Okay, let's say for example, let us use Let us use the educational system as an example. The example I used before. Tropical man, you graduate with a first class. I graduate with a third class. You know that it does not really guarantee that you will do better, you will do well than me after school. Do you know that? So it is not the real win is life after school. Who does well? Who wins? Who achieves more after school? That is where the real win starts. So it's not does not necessarily you can cheat your way down to getting first class, but are you able to use that first class to get something for yourself? Engineer Hali, you hi, assalam alaikum. Am I supposed to say malaikum salam? Engineer Ali, you hi, we meet again. I feel like you've been here before, and I appreciate you for joining again. Okay, Trigger Man says I agree with you guys from a moral point of view. Hey, so you are an immoral man, typical man. But the truth is, morals are man-made, and life doesn't care about morals. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Because life doesn't care about morals does not mean that we should let go of our morals. Just a typical man, does it? It is in 2020, 2009 Champions League, Barcelona eliminated Chelsea. Hey, my club, in a highly controversial match that many fans felt involved unfair refereeing decision. Barcelona then went on to win the tournament, but on this day, they are still recognized. But to this day, they are still recognized as champions. Mm. Oh, okay. But still, Reed, I don't think that it is always the case because they are still recognized. They are still recognized as the champions, but they were kicked out of the league. They no come out them. Also not Arsenal that remove them or who. Whatever. Engineer Ali, good morning. It's morning over here. Good morning, and you're welcome to my live stream. I'm not saying we should get go of our morals, but what if your morals get in the way of your survival? Well, as a human, if my morals get in the way of my survivals, I would actually let it go. I would let it go. I would be very honest. But will I be satisfied with myself? Will I be happy with myself? To be honest with you, I will not. I would even be ashamed of telling somebody that, oh, I achieved this, knowing fully well how I got that. So that is just the point I'm trying to make. Yes, people win through different means. They win by different means. But it is how you feel about yourself afterwards that matters. I may not even consider myself or be proud to call myself a winner, knowing fully well how I got that or how I was able to achieve that. Knowledge said it guides my survival even with animals. Yeah. Okay. Battery. The battery is 16%. They already won. They won me like few minutes ago. Now my battery is 16%. So it is about time. But let's listen a few minutes more. Great recommends is knowledge. Are you saying your morals can never get in the way of your survival? With the way I've perceived knowledge, likely, but let him answer. Let him answer for himself. Me say Tinubu is winning against mm, against Nigeria, and he doesn't give a fuck whether people like it or not. His name will remain in the history books forever. Read in this Tinubu's case here, Yes, he's our president, but till tomorrow, a lot of us will still call Peter Obi a winner. That is what I'm talking about. You may achieve that thing through unfair means, but it does not make people see you as the real winner. It does not give you that real win that you derive. There are some people that don't care. They don't care about how you see them as long as they have what they want. Tinubu falls in that category. But regardless of that, it does not make many Nigerians see him, acknowledge him, or still want him or respect him as their leaders. No. A lot of us still chant Peter Obi's name as the winner of that election. A lot of us still want Somore and then some other persons to be in that position. Who I will tell you till tomorrow that Peter Obi won that election. Read, if you ask me, I'll tell you till tomorrow morning. He won that election. But your INEC, that was probably. I hope they will not come here and come and arrest me. Oh. Read, no put talk for my mouth. Oh. I beg, no put talk for my mouth. Oh. I dey beg you. Anyway, let me go back to knowledge. Knowledge say my morals don't jeopardize my survival, it increases it. Having morals does not equate to being weak. I thought you said knowledge no go bend. Knowledge will not bend. Who is the president? Of course, Tinubu is the president because no put talk for my mouth though. Read. That puts me in problem, in trouble. Yes, he's the president, but people still say that he won through unjust means. I mean, you saw what happened in the last election with a lot of people. You will also see it. You will also see it in this election. You also see, it, like I said, gaining victory of something unjustly does not make people see you as the real winner. Does not make people see. When you say real, like real, authentic, original, there is original, there is fake. Fake is something that is being manipulated. So that his victory was manipulated. So it is not real, it is fake. But it is something we have to accept because, like real typical man made mention of, powerful men are controlling it. Powerful men are telling you that he won that election, so you have no choice but to accept it. But looking at it, like the original person that won the election, we all know. Don't allow me to come again before they trace me. Come here. I beg you. I don't get anybody. Oh. I am my father's stepdaughter. I know fish out. Anyway, Rachel come and says your morals are not really yours, as most of them are probably passed down to you through upbringing and also the society you live in. If the society certain morals can appear outdated and might be a burden to your survival. You guys, please let's kindly round up. My battery is going down. It says under constitutional right, I can say that Tinubu is not my president and it is not a criminal offense. Yeah, Dollar, please put out your message. I have to end this life now. Battery is 4%. The battery is very low. Kindly put up your. Are you sending your message here or on Instagram? um, Rebecca man, trust me, my brother. I have my own mind. Yeah. Mm. Thank you, Dollar. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. As usual, I appreciate everybody for joining. For joining, and I would also like to. I think there was a bit of a tension here on this live stream. and I am happy that we're able to resolve that. Again, I would like to apologize for the tension because I think some people had to leave because of that. I noticed that Eldad also stopped communicating, which is unlike him. Please, I just hope that we that know ourselves, if it is an outsider like that goes to those, I would totally ignore. But for you guys that I'm very, very familiar with, trust me, it doesn't cause me any joy to see you guys go back and forth. So I'd really appreciate the level of understanding. Dollar is a moderator for a reason, not to remove people, just to ensure that the live stream does not get banned or restricted, and also help me work on some stuff here. It's not just to remove anybody. And in order to ensure that it does not get banned, some things, some comments have been deleted. That's why it's no hard feelings. It's just Dollar helping me trying to achieve something. I hope that we understand. And Dollar, please, knowing these people that frequent my life, just kindly let them be, knowing that they'll never say anything to hurt me. Again, I appreciate everybody, and it means a lot to me that you guys always join here. I'm happy. So tomorrow we are going to think of something else to do. You guys have to pick in mind in case if I come here without a topic, because sometimes a lot of things take over my brain and I'll not have time to prepare something. So you guys please think of a topic in case if I come here without a topic. That being said, I can thank you, real tropical man, for understanding. That being said, I can now charge and chat on other platforms. This live stream has lasted for close to 2 hours, which is very unusual. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Knowledge, bye. Read, bye. Dollar, bye. Tropical man, bye. Thank you.